Get off my lawn! All right, Twitch, it is time for the semifinals here at the Old Cranky Man Collectibles Team Trios in November 2023. This is the last qualifier before the championship, the first weekend in December, which will be live streamed right here on Twitch. December 2nd at 10 a.m. The championship.
How many players are we going to have?
It will be all of those qualified throughout the year. So that is, let's see, it's 3 times 6, so that's 18, and then it's 24 players guaranteed.
Okay.
And then the top 32 on points after that.
Okay.
So it could be upwards of a 60-man tournament.
Okay. That's a good chunk of players. Obviously, some players have qualified more than one time.
Yeah, there are double queues in there and things like that. So looks like
deep fried
players are getting shuffled up here. So top 4 modern decks. Today. You are watching right now Jerry playing mono green Tron.
The classic
at the top of your screen. Yep. Recall earlier when Jeremiah mentioned Sundering Titan.
Yep.
Jerry has main deck Sundering Titan.
That fantastic.
Love to see it. It's going to be really good against the 4-color monstrosity that is deep fried beans.
Yeah, you can just put it in the deck now. That's wild.
Nate here at the bottom. So this is the 2 versus 3 bracket, and then off screen the other game that's playing out is Scales, who we saw on who we saw on screen two rounds.
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
That deck seems very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Playing against Living End.
It
is
really?
a different Living End deck than the one that, or different Living End player than the one we saw earlier.
Okay. Still a very good deck. I've noticed that we only saw one scam deck today.
Yep. I believe there was only one scam deck in the room.
That's wild.
So we had, how many teams today?
19.
19 teams
19
today.
teams, a lot.
So out of 19 modern decks, only one of them was scam.
Yeah, it was a big chunk of players today. Very crowded at the beginning of the day. Kind of cleared out now.
Yep.
We had one team play in round 6. Mm-hmm. Good on them.
Yeah, they're playing for their points.
Yeah.
Because the top 8 gets a bye.
Yeah. Big deal.
So, yeah.
That is a big deal.
Top 8 point earners get buys, so.
Okay, getting
Alrighty,
started here.
Players finish shuffling up here. Of course, this is a top 4 semifinal, so untimed rounds here.
Yep.
Time not of any concern to these players. What are those sleeves that Jerry has up there? Is that some kind of mystical archive or something like that? Or is it just random art?
I believe that's Elsa. She's the queen of the Ice Realm in Arendelle.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, her sister
what
Anna.
A crossover.
Yeah, listen, Disney's already getting into it. We know that Marvel's coming.
Yeah.
So why not just Disney proper, right?
Heck yeah.
No, I believe that is a secret layer.
You know what?
Not secret layer. The
Lorcana.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were Lorcana sleeves.
Yeah.
Now you took me off my train of thought and I forgot what I was going to say. You know what? These Universes Beyond things.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the reskins.
Yes.
As opposed to just, designing mechanically unique cards. Listen, I love me some mechanically unique cards, but there's something about the reskins is just like, it's real nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There have been a few reskins that haven't necessarily made any sense. For example, Jeff Goldblum's character from Jurassic Park is Atla Palani.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't know that Ian Malcolm was the one that was making the dinosaur
tending
eggs.
nests, baby. What do you think he's doing there?
These players have gotten started here. A Windswept Heath from Nate, who is on the play, and an Urza's Tower and an Expedition map from Jerry.
It doesn't look like a tower. I can't see it. Oh, there it is.
That is, in fact, a tower, and I do see the power plant in hand alongside an Ancient Stirrings and some other cards, so we will have turn 3 Tron.
Yeah, this is basically guaranteed. And if you're a disciplined Tron player, you understand that this is just the way that the deck works. Like, you don't keep a hand that doesn't
gotta go 1-2-7, daddy.
Yeah, the deck doesn't really function well without having Tron unless you have a very specific opener. Like if you have Green Source, Ancient Stirrings, maybe then?
Nah, we gotta have Tron.
Yeah.
We gotta have Tron. We do not want to start with 4 Instincts and Stirrings. Those are the worst straws. Here
Tower
is
and a star.
Chromatic Star.
So can we crack the star to activate the? You
gotta have 1 mana put
you
into
do
it.
have to have 1 mana. Okay.
Here is
interesting.
a Beans, a Plains, and a Leyline Binding to take care of the Expedition.
Should he
map.
have cracked the map instead?
Perhaps he has the other Tron land in hand, my man.
It's entirely possible.
Here is a Chromatic Star.
And if he doesn't, then we'll know the answer.
He has the mine in
He
hand.
does
You
have
can
it.
see it right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, the old art look a little like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I don't love the Leyline Binding on the map. A seasoned Tron player is telegraphing that they have the 3rd Tron piece in hand by the play that he just made there. We can just assume that he has Tron and save our Leyline Binding for a Planeswalker.
Yeah, that seems better.
Or something else that we know is going to follow it up.
Like Karn. Karn is a game winner. You got to deal with that.
Sure is.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, this is the end of a very long, long tournament.
And this is 3 mana from a tower. Here is Karn.
Karn Daddy. So now none of Nate's artifacts can be activated if he has any artifacts.
He does not, but there it is.
Later on, if he were.
So Jerry does still have 2 mana here, so he'll
Yep.
be able to down tick this Karn, grab whatever artifact he wants out of the sideboard. He's taking a look at a Cursed Totem and a Liquid Metal Coating here. Both cards can be pretty good against Deep Fried Beans.
Coding is a permanent thing, right? It makes things.
Yeah. Target permanent becomes an artifact
Yeah.
in addition to its other types until the end of the turn.
Can you imagine if Mycosynth Lattice was still legal in Modern?
He's going to pick up a Sundering Titan.
Like,
The problem with the Mycosynth Lattice Lock is that it just doesn't end the game.
yeah,
It just turns off your opponent's ability to play Magic, but you still get to play Magic.
Yeah, you have
and
to
feels,
play it out.
It feels real bad if you have to play it out. Here's an Ancient Stirrings.
there's no way to make mana. There's no way to attack. There's no way to do anything. I think you can still attack, but that's basically it. All right. Picking up a forest. Ooh. That is an unglued
And that's going to go
forest.
to hand. Did you see which artifact he got? Oh, he got Sundering Titan,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
You got Big Suns, which will take care of 1, 2, 3 of the lands across the board.
Here is a Fury that's going to take care of the Karn.
Draws a card,
Follow
too.
that up with a Misty Rainforest, and Misty Rainforest looks like it's just going to hang out for a second. I kind of like keeping the Misty Rainforest uncracked.
Yeah.
Uncracked. We know that Sundering Titan is coming down next turn. It guarantees us having a land in play.
There's not a lot of pressure from Jerry right now, so
Right.
yeah, that Sundering Titan is still. Oh no,
He's going to go ahead and crack it.
Wow, and that represents 4 different land types. So.
We have 5.
Oh, is it 5? All
That's a
5.
Zagoth
Oh, that's
Triome,
Triumph.
so-
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got a lot of targets there, Chief.
Is 2 mana. Not 2 mana. There's 2 mana.
2 mana, and
It's a
another
Beans.
Beans. Drawing a lot of cards. That's cool.
Well,
If-
we might have reached the point where, sure, you got a Sundering Titan. I'm going to draw.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to draw a bunch of cards, kill your Sundering Titan, and then we can continue to play Magic. I'll just have to make my land drops. But it's fine
Yeah.
because I drew 100 cards and I have lands
I will
in my
eventually
hand.
get there. I don't have to have mana to cast any of my spells anyway.
Answer the Sundering Titan's body and
Yeah.
try to not let the fact that it's killing your lands bother you that
Yeah.
much.
He might have a subtlety also to kind of deal with it.
Sure.
Like
yeah,
that would be a pretty
subtlety.
sick.
I don't know the contents of Nate's deck. Not
Yeah.
sure if he has subtlety, but he definitely has ways to kill the Sundering Titan.
Yeah.
Solitude, Leyline Binding, etc. Leyline Binding might be a little bit dangerous, though, because Jerry has 2 copies of Beseju who shelters all in his main deck.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Still, though.
Oh, who endures, not who shelters all.
Yeah,
Bill and that
Beseju who endures. Yeah, my bad.
Shelters all is
That's the one that
the
makes
other
your
one.
spells uncounterable.
yeah. And it's just another Manic Monday. Just another Ancient Stirrings coming down. Get another colorless card.
And there is a Beseju to take care of the mine. Jerry's got a forest in play now. And it looks like an expedition map. So that can go find the missing mine.
A mine.
He has another tower. Here is the map, and he'll just pass back. So Nate successfully able to keep him off of the Sundering Titan for at least one turn.
Yeah, that's, relevant, right? Sort of a posturing right now. Positioning, posturing, trying to get yourself ready to do things.
Still making land drops. Here's an island and 4 mana. Is it a Omnath? It's a Bloodbraid Elf.
It's another beans. Oh, no.
Here is a Shardless Agent, and that is going to get converted into a copy of Up the Beanstalk.
Who designed that card, Up the Beanstalk? They just thought it would be a fun card draw, you know?
It is great. The card is great.
Yeah, it's cracked.
Big fan.
Like, they didn't think about, like, mana value reduction effects on cards.
I'm sure they thought about it.
Oh, sure. But, like...
I'm sure they thought about it. They just thought it would be fun.
It's neat. Yeah, I can't even say it's cracked. It's just, like, interesting, fun card design. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it really takes this... it takes this sort of, like, tap-out control deck kind of thing to the max.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, I mean, I kind of appreciate the heck out of it. I love a tap-out control deck. Counter spells are fun, but something about just jamming a 1-mana Leyline Binding and drawing 3 cards is extremely appealing to me.
There's no clean way to deal with a bunch of... what's the echoing?
Maelstrom Pulse?
Yeah, Maelstrom Pulse, yeah. At that point, your opponent already has, like,
Time for Jund to
versions.
come back, baby. Bloodbraid Elf in. Jerry down to 17. Expedition map going to get sacrificed here. Got to imagine that's going to go find an Urza's Mine.
A mine.
A mine!
There you go, yep.
You knew I would do it.
A mine!
A mine! There's the tower. So who did the... Okay, so was it Mark Poole and then...
I thought it was Mark Teeden.
No, they each have one. Mark Poole, Mark Teeden. Mark Teeden did the power plants.
I thought it was Tower. Hang on, I'm going to look this up.
The towers are definitely Mark Poole.
Hang on, we're going to look this up. It's the...
But I was trying to figure out who the other... Was it Chris Rush?
It might be.
The third artist there who did these Antiquities Urza's lands. Here is 8 mana for a Sundering Titan.
Okay, so we got Mark Poole. Mark Poole's on Tower. Mark Teeden's on Power Plants.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
And hang on.
Who did the mines?
I'm looking.
It's not Chris Rush.
It is Anson Maddox.
Anson Maddox, yes, that is who it is. Classic Anson Maddox. So Sundering Titan is on the stack here. And it looks like there is a Leyline Binding in response to the trigger. Is that what's happening?
Looks like it.
So all 5 lands are going to get destroyed. And then Sundering Titan is going to get exiled underneath the Leyline Binding. So this is kind of what I was talking about here.
Yeah, don't let it bother you.
You just can't let this bother you. What you need to do is like keep making your land drops and drawing cards with your beans. Because you don't need lands to evoke elementals. You don't need lands to
He's got 5 damage. He's got 5 power in play.
Yeah.
That's game-ending power right there for a control deck.
And he can just keep making his land drops and playing the game. So Dismember,
Which member?
Gonna take care of Bloodbraid Elf. Shardless Agent in the red zone. Here's a tapped Stomping Ground. Pass back over to Tron. Tron's going to draw a card.
This is, I mean... It would be game-ending for almost any other deck. But the fact that Beans is, like, just drawing so many cards...
The Beans are already in play is the part that makes me think that everything is going to be all right. Is that another Sundering Titan?
Yeah, it looks like...
2 copies of Sundering Titan in this game. It's really funny that Jay mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
He was talking about the old school mono blue Tron decks that played Sundering Titan.
And
now we have Sundering Titan in the main deck.
He solituded it.
Maybe that's why he's here today. Maybe he got paired. There was a bunch of Bean stacks in the room, and having 2 copies of Sundering Titan in your main deck, it's insane against the 4 or 5 color decks.
Yeah, it's...
So
there's no downside.
Casual Solitude draw 3 here. From the Beans deck.
Yeah, pitching the Omnath.
Here's 2 mana.
Yep. Got another Ancient Stirrings.
2 mana for Blast Zone. So
the Blast Zone.
Played Blast Zone, put another counter on it, and then sacked it for 2 to kill all of the beans. And now
we got the One Ring, which
Beans
is gonna...
is left with just a Shardless Agent in play. Tron going to follow that up with a One Ring, immediately draw a card off of it, so he'll have protection from everything.
What's better than drawing from casting spells? It's drawing from doing nothing.
Drawing from doing nothing.
Yeah.
Here's a Rogran Triome.
Would you pay life for card draw? That sounds ridiculous.
Big fan of Yawgmoth's Bargain.
Yeah.
Card is insane.
Griselbrand.
Not as big of a fan of
Yeah,
Griselbrand.
you're
He dies to Sword Splashers.
That is true.
There's a reason Yawgmoth's Bargain is banned.
Atraxa. Great.
Big fan of Atraxa.
There you go.
Though.
Okay.
Yeah, love that one.
No, you don't have to pay life for that. That just comes in and throws her hand up.
And you can blink her, and she does it again.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Another copy of Up the Beanstalk here. So that is 4 beans this game.
Nate.
Shardless Agent going to attack? Maybe not. Tron has protection from everything. We'll draw 2 more cards.
Just no worries.
Full grip of cards in
grip.
hand. 1,000,000 mana.
Tron,
Opponent.
happy as a clam.
Opponent has a Gray Ogre and a Beans.
Yeah.
Not sure how
2
many,
lands.
Yeah, not sure how many cards the Beans deck has in hand, but I think it's quite a few. It looks like at least 6 cards.
Yeah. Both players filled up with resources in hand. Nate has a lot of resources on board that aren't doing a lot. The Leyline Binding sort of have done their job, come and gone. Been and gone. So
yeah, well, if he... Potentially, he could have like a Teferi the Time Raveler to pick up the one that's exiling the map.
Sure.
Because I could see a world where, your Leyline Binding just is going to be doing something, more than stopping this expedition map from getting cracked. So Teferi the Time Raveler coming down and bouncing that Leyline Binding, getting it back and being able to use it again, drawing a card while we're at it. So that was a Sylvan Scrying from Tron.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And here is a Karn the Liberated.
He's no pants. That's how you know he's
Oh,
liberated.
interesting. Jerry is still playing Sanctum of Ugin. A lot of the Tron decks have cut this, moving more towards just your Tron lands, your basics, and your Besejus.
He's got an Ugamog.
A couple of copies of Urza Saga, too.
Yeah.
So the Sanctum of Ugin gonna find a Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. That'll go to hand.
Ugamog.
That's gonna do a good job of keeping Nate off of lands for probably the rest of this game.
I think it'll do a good job of killing him.
Karn's going to come down and exile the Leyline Binding that is got a Sundering Titan underneath it. Sundering Titan will come back in and destroy Nate's 2 lands.
Remember how I had said, wouldn't there be a cool way to just kill all of a permanent with the same name? And then Jerry just did it.
Yes, he did. That's going to do it for Game 1. These players are going to sideboard, and we'll be right back with Game 2.
Be right back.
All right, Twitch, these players are drawing their opening 7-card hands. Stefan, why don't you tell me about what Nate did during sideboarding?
Okay, so Nate made some pretty significant changes to the deck. As far as what he's weak against and what he wants to combat, he took out a Fury and a Solitude. Obviously, less targets for those.
Sure.
2 copies of Omnath, 2 copies of Teferi Time Raveler. And I've noticed a lot of decks take out Teferi after round 1. Not as many targets they went for it, I suppose. He brought in... so that's 6 cards total taken out.
Yep.
What he brought in was a copy of Commandeer.
Okay.
Not sure what the target is on that one, but I suppose...
It just takes any spell.
Yeah, just any spell you want. Alpine Moon.
Right, that's obvious.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then 4 copies of Obsidian Charmaw.
Oh. Can I get a
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's exciting.
What about Jerry? What do you do?
I can't wait to see how this one shakes out, knowing that there are 4 copies
Four
of that
copies
in
of
the deck
Charmaw.
now.
Yeah.
Jerry, real light sideboarding, just took out 1 copy of Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, and brought in a Haywire Might. Really just trying to get rid of those beans before they're a problem.
I feel like Tron's sideboard is actually a card board a lot
It
of
is,
times.
yeah. There's usually only between 4 and 6 cards that actually go in and out of the deck, and the rest of it is reserved for Karn tutoring. Looks like Nate on a mulligan to 6 here, pondering over this 6-card hand.
Been a long day. Talking a lot. My throat gets sore.
Good thing you have a gallon of water in front of you.
I do. I'm
In
drinking a lot.
a lovely violet colored water bottle.
It's, I believe, Jay called it lavender. Jay did take off. I think we should just say really quick.
Yeah, Jay had to go listen to his son sing and dance. So you are stuck with just the 2 of us. Just 2 dads, but 2's better than none.
Just 2. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. As Meatloaf said. Yeah, we're just kind of mulliganing here. I think I wonder if he's looking for specific cards. Like, do you think he's looking for a good opener, or is he looking for specific cards?
Let's see. Specific cards. You know, I could see mulliganing into the Charmaw.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Or Alpine Moon. Like, Alpine Moon seems pretty dope. Call Tower.
Yeah, or you know, if you're, I don't know. Jerry didn't. We didn't see any sagas, so I think Jerry is playing a little bit more of like the older school version where it has the Sanctum of Ugin and the Blast Zone, as opposed to the 2 Urza Sagas, 2 Besages, and 3 Forests, which is usually the lands that have been played recently in these Tron decks.
Okay.
So maybe something like that is not as good as it would be otherwise.
So this is a 5.
Looks like, he did keep a 5-card hand. It's going to be a Windswept Heath pass over to Jerry.
Is it a Lorien revealed?
Yeah, we have a Lorien revealed, a Fire Ice, and Up the Beanstalk, and a Scalding Tarn, I think is what those cards in hand are.
That's a good opener. I mean, I'd keep that.
It's a serviceable 5-card hand. It's got 2 lands and Up the Beanstalk, you know. And if the game goes long and you don't need to cycle that, you can just Ancestral Recall yourself with Lorien revealed.
And I don't think there's any impetus to cycle the Lorien revealed right away. You just want to get those beans down turn 2. Oh, I guess he is cycling it right away. Who knows?
Well, perhaps that's not a Scalding Tarn in the hand either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe he does not have the second land.
If that's the case, then absolutely. You want to get that second land in play. You want to get the second land in hand, and then you can make that drop, play your beans. Beans are online. You're good to go.
Hopefully.
Jerry, did he keep 7?
I want him to. Jerry did keep 7. Oof. Yes. I want him to get a beans in play, and then start casting 2-mana Obsidian Charmaws that destroy lands and draw cards. Also because there's a beans in play.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if we're gonna live the dream, right? I did notice that he did fetch for red sources. So
yeah, he prioritized that.
That's clever
for sure.
So, okay, we've got a green source here. I wonder if he does have that. What did you say? You didn't say Steam Vents, did you?
I thought it was a Scalding Tarn.
Scalding Tarn, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're just going to get the beans here. Oh, he does need a green source for the beans. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got a green for the beans. Oh, we're
looks like he's going to ice the tower in his upkeep.
I kind of love that.
Yep. Jerry does have Tron in hand, though. So just a little tempo play here.
Cycling, getting more
so
cards.
In hand, I see a Teferi the Time Raveler. Here is a Steam Vents.
Bounce
Teferi's going to come down and put the map back into hand. Unfortunately for Nate, Jerry does have the Tron in hand naturally.
Yeah.
So.
It do be like that for Tron sometimes.
It's kind of unfortunate, though, because his hand, what he did, the plays he made, lined up really, really well with keeping an opponent from finding Tron in the first place. But, yeah, man, Jerry is here to beat this deck.
Damn.
I am 100% certain that the reason that Jerry is in this seat that he's in right now is because he came cards to beat beans.
He's here to eat beans.
Sundering Titan and Karn Liberated, both very, very good against this greedy mana base.
Yeah, is Karn just going to exile a card from his hand? Like, Karn doesn't care about Teferi, right?
No. If I was me, I'm killing lands.
Oh, you're just taking lands out? Oh, he's taking...
He exiled a card from his hand, though. He will pass back over to Nate. Nate's going to draw a card, tick up the Teferi.
I like doing that at the beginning of the turn so you don't forget. I've seen a lot of players forget to tick up their Teferis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if there's not another option, you might as well just activate it and get it out of the way.
Yeah. And I don't know that it's ever been relevant. Like, that +1 might as well just say nothing. It sort of makes me wonder if that +1 should have been your opponent, like, until your next turn your opponent can't cast spells, and then the static should have been that you can cast Sorcerer's at instant speed.
I have often wondered if that was the case, if that would have made Teferi quite a bit more balanced.
Yes. Having to utilize that to turn off.
That being said, if Teferi is quite unpleasant in formats that can't kill him very well, but in a format like Modern, it is relatively easy to kill a Teferi.
Pioneer was a pain.
It is one of those cards that in certain matchups it just wins. The decks that are looking to cascade.
Yeah.
And they just can't play their deck really when Teferi is in play.
It seems like a mirror match card.
But other than that,
ooh, we got a Beseiju.
So Beseiju is going to take care of the tower.
Is that always the correct land unless you have knowledge of the hand? He's going to be able to map next turn anyway.
There are like I've actually read articles written by way more skilled Tron players than I am.
Unbelievable.
That have written about it from the Tron player's perspective. Because you playing the deck have knowledge of cards that you've bottomed with Ancient Stirrings,
sure,
with other cards that you've seen with other things like. But as far as like with the information that Nate has currently, I don't know that there's a correct land to go get.
Okay. I don't believe that there is a more skilled Tron player than you. I think you are one of the best Tron players I know.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. A lot of it has to do with Ancient Stirrings, though.
Sure. Here's the Sylvan Scrying.
How to sequence your, cracking of your baubles and when you should Ancient Stirrings versus when you should Sylvan Scrying first and stuff like that.
Now he's gonna have 5 mana from the tower and the mine.
Yes.
Or the power plant rather.
Yes, he does have 5.
So he's put the scrying goes to hand.
Correct.
But he's going to be able to play the tower for turn. Not having to utilize the map, which is way more mana intensive, like up front.
Yep.
Super nice. It's sort of like why this deck is green, right? Is it?
I think between Sylvan Scrying and Ancient Stirrings, I think that those two cards, the combination of them and the way that they curve out. Perfectly on your first and second turns of the game, it just kind of makes it obvious.
What are we exiling with this Karn here? Beans?
Well,
probably not.
He hasn't done anything yet, so Jerry did not prioritize killing a land last turn, so I can't imagine he's going to kill a land this turn.
We're just taking the.
We're just going to get rid of the beans and then play a couple of maps pass over to Nate.
How much utility lands are in this deck? Like
in Jerry's version,
yeah,
there is a Blast Zone and a Sanctum of Ugin.
Okay, no Urza Saga. Just Sanctum seems like a sick rip.
Yes, because Sanctum can turn any 7 mana colorless spell into any other colorless spell.
An Ugamog, a Kozilek,
right.
An Emrakul, if you will.
You can go get Sundering Titan with it.
A Sundering Titan, sure. We're not playing anything like Inventor's Fair though. Like that's probably too artifact centric.
Nope, it's just the Blast Zone and the Sanctum of Ugin.
It's probably
like I was saying earlier. most recently the Tron decks have been their lands. They've had the 12, here's an Alpine Noon. They've had the 12 Tron lands. 3 forests, 2 Besejus, and 2 Urza Sagas.
Okay.
Jerry just has forests, blast zone, and
Sanctum Ugin.
Yep.
Can he just get a Beseju here to blow up that Alpine Moon?
Yes, a Boseiju will do that. He also has the Blast Zone that's in hand.
Oh, Blast Zone deals with anything?
Yeah, it's non-land permanent with CMC X.
That card seems absurd.
Right, it kills creatures, planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts.
So the moon is 3 mana. Alpine Moon is 3 mana, right?
Alpine Moon is 1 mana.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh. And there's the Charmaw. Ooh, the Charmaw.
Okay, so here is the situation where I can tell you what is for sure the thing that you're supposed to do.
Sure.
So he already has killed 1 copy of Urza's Tower.
Yeah.
Okay. Opponent has Tron back in play. Mm-hmm. You kill the Urza's Tower because there's already 1 in the graveyard.
Yep.
And that means there's only 2 copies of Urza's Tower left.
Okay. So whatever is in the graveyard, you go after that. That's
Correct.
your hit.
Yeah, because it's the math just works out. It's much less likely for Jerry to naturally draw a tower now.
What land do you think he named with the moon?
He does have the map in play.
Yeah.
To go find the tower.
Yeah, or a Boseiju to deal with the Alpine Moon.
I'm not sure what he named with the Alpine Moon. Maybe he named Tower?
Yeah. I don't know. It's Blast Zone. So we can Blast Zone out the moon. Oh, he's just getting rid of Charmaw. I guess the Karn can also take care of things.
What's the Alpine Moon? The Alpine Moon named Power Plant.
Power Plant, okay. So
he's diversifying his land hate. So he used the Charmaw to go after the tower, and he used the Alpine Moon to name one of the other lands. So hopefully just blanking 2 things.
Yep. And like this was a 2 mana land destruction spell. It did get exiled with the Karn, but I don't think he cares.
The Charmaw?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't care.
Yeah, like Nate.
It already did its job.
Yeah.
It drew him a card. It killed the land.
Yeah, Nate now just wants to go the distance with this Gray Ochre. He wants to stall the game out, and he wants to go the distance.
Well, with the map in play and the Blast Zone, in 2 turns, Jerry will be able to reassemble Tron.
Yeah.
Granted, that's 2 more turns for Nate to play Magic.
Yeah, which...
but Jerry has 20 life.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't done anything. And that, like... Karn's just going to keep on doing work.
Well, the Karn should be at 4 now.
4 now, yeah.
Because he +3'd and then -4'd.
Yeah.
+4'd and then -3'd.
Yeah. So it could take a hit and still be able to take another card out of his hand. The issue is that Nate gets to choose the card.
Yes.
And so often, especially when you have a lot of cards in hand with stuff like beans.
Yeah, but I think at this point, just not being able to vindicate a permanent is going to be super important. So
he's bouncing
Teferi is going to bounce. And then the Shardless Agent. And then
the Shardles.
The Shardless Agent is going to cascade into another copy of Beans.
Yep.
Okay.
Fire Ice, Solitude, Leyline Binding. Yeah, we're just kind of taking stock of what's in deck versus in hand.
Right. So at the end of this turn, Jerry will be able to pop his Blast Zone, which will destroy the Alpine Moon.
Yeah. Oh, here's another... Nope, he won't.
Obsidian Charma, though. Okay, so this is a situation where you should go after the mine. Yes, he does the correct thing.
Wow.
Because we have the Alpine Moon. It's interesting that Jerry
power plant.
It's interesting that Jerry didn't float mana there.
Yeah.
So we have the Alpine Moon naming the power plant, and then we've killed 2 copies of Tower. So now we go after the 3rd land.
Yep. So
and
we're just
each time making a little bit more difficult statistically to find those cards.
This, like, extremely well played by Nate. This was a mulligan to 5.
Yeah, it was actually.
That's wild. And he has just naturally drawn into all of these pieces to deal with things and forced Jerry to utilize 7 mana Karn to deal with each individual piece to the point where it's like nearly dead now.
Yep.
And this is, I think 7 mana Karn is just like isn't really included in most Tron decks these days. I think this is sort of
some of them are playing 1 copy.
Yeah.
A lot of them have moved towards All Is Dust.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like All Is Dust on this board, it just kills everything.
I almost wonder if
it gets rid of the Alpine Moon, the 3 creatures, and the beans.
But this is a better turn 3 play. So like Karn on turn 3 is way better.
Yes. Yep.
Early.
Yep.
Yeah. So this was just a better turn 3 play for Jerry. Jerry would just be dead here.
I believe the question that's at the table right now is whether or not this Obsidian Charmaw cost 2 mana. And I believe the answer is yes, but maybe not.
So it costs 1 less for each land an opponent controls
that
that
can
could produce
produce
colorless.
Yeah.
But
So opponent has 3 colorless lands.
the mine can't produce colorless. The mine can only produce a colored mana.
Oh, wow. Okay, so head judge Josh Schroeder is at the table fixing this now.
Yeah.
So a random card
Yeah.
was returned to the library because we had drawn an extra card
Yeah.
off of the Up the Beanstalk. And so the mana was then untapped, and now the Obsidian Charmaw is going to go back to hand.
We're doing
here.
a rewind here. Yeah, this is heads up on catching that. Yeah, the mine loses all other abilities and only can tap for any color of mana. And colorless is not a color of mana.
Yes.
That is wild. What a catch. And Nate at 8 now. Jerry's still sitting at 20. All of this hate, everything has been thrown at him now.
All right, so Nate now going to fetch Shock a land so that he can pay 3 mana for his Obsidian Charmaw.
Deal with the mine. Or power plant, rather. So I guess he's dealing with power plant. Why you wouldn't deal with the blast zone is beyond me, though.
Well,
I guess, what is the Charmaw? 4/4, 3/3?
I still think that keeping them off of the Tron is more important than killing the blast zone. If you don't, it's basically the same whether the Alpine Moon is sitting there or not.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's correct to prioritize killing the Tron lands over the blast zone there.
Yeah, I genuinely wonder that because, Charmaw's a 4/4, so it's a 5-turn clock, all in its own, right? Karn can just die to this. Even if your Jerry starts upticking Karn.
All right, so he is going to uptick Karn, and Misty
Okay.
Rainforest is going to get exiled.
Jerry still has a whole grip of cards there. This is a bit of a heck of a fight. It looks like Pioneer's done. Or no, that's Legacy.
Yeah, Legacy is playing next door to Modern here. Here's a Sylvan Scrying. It's going to be a power plant.
Yep, the bug. The best power plant. The bug power plant. I wonder if he has the full diversity of all
He does.
arts. Oh,
yeah, he
so
has.
beautiful.
Yeah, he has this each season of each one.
The winter towers are hard to find, right?
I don't recall which ones are difficult. To
I know
find.
there's one.
I know that there's one of these lands that's like $20, and the rest of them are all $3.
They're all antiquities too, and signed. The deck is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is an excellent excellent thing to look at.
Look at all those cards exiled with Karn.
Yeah.
Oh man. So there goes. Is that a Sundering Titan?
No, he cast a Warping Whale
Okay.
to make a 0/1 Eldrazi and block.
Oh,
But it does not look like he.
what are we doing?
I believe the game is over.
Did Jerry win that?
I believe so. Yes. Yes.
I hadn't. I think they're scooping it up because the other 2 games ended and the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't need to finish playing this game, right? Because it's a team event.
Yeah.
So if 2 teams on one side wins before the
Yes.
Modern game finishes, the round is over. We
Yep.
don't need to keep playing. So,
Okay.
I think. Given maybe another turn or two,
Yeah.
the 4-color beans deck, might have been able to get
might have
that
been
one,
able
and
to turn the corner.
and then we would have got to see a game 3. But who knows?
Jerry got the first one. It was excellent up until this point. So
Yep.
we're going to move on to the finals
All
now.
right, yep, we're going to play out the finals, and one of these players, I'm not sure which one, will be back in the finals with
All right.
it'll be either Living End or Hardened Scales.
Hell yeah.
We'll be right back with the finals in just
See
a
you
few
guys.
minutes.
And in more Magic weirdness,
All right. Well, the players did that thing where one player conceded to the other player in the finals because one team wanted the qualification and the other player doesn't. So I also asked them if they were interested in playing for content, and they declined, as all 6 members of these teams are from Nebraska and want to get on the road
Good God.
get home.
understandable.
So, for us here at Old Cranky Man, at Game Castle in Ankeny, Iowa, this is Blake, and
Stefan,
we are done.
signing off.
So, this is going to be it until the championships weekend of December 2nd and 3rd. On the 2nd, we have the OCM Championship Series championship. Players are playing for their share of $3,000 and the Championship Series belt. Stream will start at 10 a.m. Again, that's on December 2nd. And then on December 3rd, we have the Lawnlander Championship Series finale. So this is our Canadian Highlander Championship Series. We figured out all 8 players who were qualified for the event last weekend, and that is happening on December 3rd, Sunday. The stream will start probably around 1 p.m. that day. So
A little later in the day. Let our players
everybody can sleep in on a
come
Sunday.
in, have some brunch.
Yes.
Sunday brunch. A little mimosa, a fruit plate.
Go.
Oh, baby.
We are really looking forward to it, and
Yes.
we hope you can join us on those days for the end of it all.
Yeah.
2023.
End of the year, man. All right. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody. Coming home.
Adios.